Our speaker tonight is Colleen Stein. She was born and reared in Carmel, but now lives in Noblesville with her husband Doug, where they are rearing 4 boys. In addition to Colleen's busy family life, she owns her own business. In preparation for meeting and introducing Colleen, I listened to one of her podcasts. As I listened to her story, I sobbed. I really did. I didn't just cry. I was sobbing as she spoke of her tragedy. However, she also spoke of her desire to be kind and forgiving and to help others. This really impressed me, and I thought, what an amazing woman. If anyone had a right to be angry and bitter, it was Colleen. The t-shirt that was created by Colleen says much about her and her courage, her kindness, her forgiveness, and her desire to do good and make a difference. Colleen, I want you to know that one of your comments in your podcast struck a chord with me, and I copied it on a sticky note, and I stuck it to my laptop. You said, "Sometimes I forget to be as good as I can." Thank you, Colleen, for reminding me that I can do better. I can be kinder. I can be more patient, and I can be more courageous. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for sharing your courage, which will inspire and help others on their road to healing. You, Colleen, are truly an amazing woman who is making a difference. So thank you again. And please, please give a very warm welcome to Colleen Stein.
Okay. Can you guys hear me okay? Okay. That was such a nice introduction. In case you missed that, my name is Colleen. I am beyond honored to be standing here before all of you tonight. And I have to say that I've never really told my story, my family's story, solely from this perspective, the perspective that I'll share with you now. As I gathered my thoughts to write this speech, I realized, not for the first time, because it has been a recurring thought of mine for a long time, how blessed we were and still are to have Prevail in our corner. I know firsthand that trauma has both a direct impact on a person and also a ripple effect on many. Unlike probably most past speakers, other speakers who have spoken at this gala, I myself have never been a victim of sexual assault or domestic violence. I have never felt threatened or scared for my life. I am instead what is called a secondary survivor, and both instantly and eventually survived because of Prevail. On July 27th, 2014, the unthinkable happened to my family. My beautiful sister Shannon was shot and killed by her ex-husband David, who then took his own life. He did this inside my parents' home, in front of my mom, my dad, and their 2 sons, Connor and Danny, who were 8 and 10 at the time. By the grace of God, my mom was quick on her feet. She's still rather quick on her feet, and was able to usher the boys out when the gun appeared. But the echoes of the gunshots and the horrific act that took my sister and her ex-husband would never be forgotten. I have to catch my breath when I stop to think of how different things might be if not for Prevail. The timeline immediately after the tragedy went something like this. though myself and my husband were in St. Louis, that's where we were living, and my sister and her family were on vacation in Florida, and we were making our way home, this is what I understand happened. My parents had to talk to the police, which I still try not to think about. Connor and Danny were being lovingly cared for by my parents' long-standing next-door neighbor, Mary. She's a very kind and loving woman. I just felt like I had to mention that. As soon as word spread, my beyond brilliant cousin Laura reached out to the one person that she knew could and would help our family, Prevail's very own Brittany Wine Bar. Brittany came quickly and stayed with the boys for hours while they waited for details about what actually happened. Up to a certain point, the boys did not know if their mom and dad were okay or not. Brittany was by their side when a chaplain broke the news to them that their parents did not survive. As an advocate, she knew how to navigate these waters with two young boys who just lost their parents in an incomprehensible act of domestic violence. She went with them to the neighborhood clubhouse where more family gathered and was able to take cues from them if she felt like they needed a little break or wanted to take a walk outside. She told me just this week, and I had never heard this before, that the night sky on that evening was particularly clear and bright, and she remembered that. On separate occasions, both boys looked up in the sky at the same bright spot and said something like, "I bet that's my mom looking down on us," just hours after learning that she was gone forever. Brittany was a safe, kind, helpful face to the boys right from the start. I have had some time recently to think about the role that Brittany and others at Prevail played for my family, and this is what I know. Prevail was not just a part of our healing. Prevail built the foundation of our new lives. Over 3 years, so I guess I didn't get wind of the 12-week program. We might have really taken advantage there. But I feel like I have to be honest. So the people at Prevail gave us the support and counseling that we didn't even know we needed. When I asked the boys if there was anything that they wanted me to mention tonight in regards to how Prevail helped them, Danny, who is now 15, a sophomore in high school, and my literal right-hand man, said, "I don't know what we would have done without them." Connor, who is 17 now, a senior in high school, beginning to apply for college, and that's all I was going to say, but he's driving me absolutely insane tonight, so I have to mention he's kind of a pain in my butt, said, and I mean this, and this is why I love him. "I felt so alone when everything happened, and Prevail gave me a new perspective. I think it helped me to be thankful for our new life and have empathy for kids who live in abusive homes or are worse off every single day." Personally, Prevail provided me with so much guidance as I went from being the boys' aunt to their earthly mom, all while offering me the assistance that I needed during the first couple of years of my grief. It was really hard for me to wrap my head around losing my sister because my husband, well, as she would say, I think I graduated to 12. She would always say, "You're like 10." And then by the time that she died and she was 40, I was upgraded to 12. But my husband and I, we lived in St. Louis with our 2 young children. So we had to move, buy a new house, build a new life of, love and safety for our were 2, now 4 children, soon to be 5 the following year. Surrounding pain I might have otherwise suppressed. I never knew exactly what it was that I needed when I walked through the doors at Prevail, but I always walked out feeling better about my role and the part that I would forever play in the boys' lives alongside our 3 children. We were just going through the motions at the time, but Prevail was changing our lives all along. I know firsthand that words are important. They matter. So I hope the following words that I have strung together help you understand how important it is that we're all here tonight and the impact that each and every one of you here in the room can make on thousands of other people just like me, or nothing like me. Prevail helps so many people with so many stories, and it is with our help that they are able to do that. My mom recently shared with me that one of the things she most often heard after losing her daughter was, "I just cannot imagine what you are going through." It was something I know I heard too. We all heard it. But the fact is, the thing that we never imagined would happen, happened. I think it's important that I share that David, my sister's ex-husband, was not a bad man. He was a good man, but he was hurting and not right in his mind. His behavior in the weeks leading up to July 27th was concerning, but not concerning enough for us to think that he would ever do what he did. The only act of domestic violence in their relationship was the final act that ended both of their lives and changed our lives forever. The pain of our loss will never go away, but we know that pain is the price of love, and love Shannon we do and always will. My mom, Rita, my dad, Danny, who couldn't make it tonight because he's boating with his friends at Lake Wawasee, my other beautiful sister, Janet, my wonderful husband, Doug, are here with me tonight. Together and in Shannon's honor, we have prevailed. I know I'm standing here right now because of the 6 other people who are sitting at my table, whose love and generosity got us through our darkest days. You have all played a role in our lives that can never be repaid, and I love each and every one of you. I am standing here today because of countless other people, their prayers, my family's faith. And I'm standing here today stronger because of the tools that Prevail provided me with to live without my sister while still honoring her memory. Didn't you say that? Oh, yeah. Sorry. It took something really, really bad for me to have Prevail in my back pocket, but I hope that every single person in this room won't wait for something bad to make sure that Prevail is in theirs, in yours. What happened to my family will hopefully not happen to anyone else here. Certainly, you can't imagine it happening, but you might want counseling on how to support a friend who goes through something like we did. The examples of what could happen and what might happen and what Prevail can help with are endless. So why wouldn't we all want to be equipped in the best way that we can to help ourselves and the people that we love? Prevail. You are helping change and possibly save so many lives. And last but not least, I think we should all celebrate the hope that Prevail has instilled in me and tens and thousands of others. Thank you.